Hey guys, appreciate you tuning in my YouTube channel. This week has been all about buck sweep, all the potential problems, potential answers you can run. I'm hoping you can take these and apply them to anything you do. So you can take them and apply them to outside zone, power, whatever, and just tag these off the back side. I know we try to get as much bang for our buck as possible. So we run buck with all of these, we run belly with all of these, we run as much as we can with all of these. And so we want to run these and maximize their usage, okay? If you're interested in specifically what I'm doing, you can go to my website, fbcoachsimpson.com, or you can, and you can get my playbook, you can get all kinds of materials are on there. I'm actually dropping a new book that has nothing to do with X's and O's, and I'm excited about that on there. Got a lot of materials on there if you're interested. You can also, if you want to know offensively how we teach things and kind of walk all the way through it, I've got my gun tee RPO system on CoachTube. A lot of guys have been checking that out. It's been a good way to use PD hours if you want to use those. So let's talk about backside issues. The last couple days we talked about linebackers. Well, today we're going to move inside to defensive linemen. I'm actually going to knock out these two together as far as interior defensive linemen and exterior defensive linemen. So an interior defensive lineman we treat as anyone inside of the tackle, head up to inside. So generally, that in a 3 front, that's going to be a 4 who's shooting inside. If you're playing a 5 front team, that can be like an under front, a true 3 technique with a 5 outside of them. It can be any of that kind of stuff. And so really we just try to categorize it as an interior defensive lineman because we see all kinds of crazy stuff when teams play us because we're so unique in what we do. And so if a team's problem is that guy, the interior defensive lineman, we can do a couple things. One, we can try to actually, I know this sounds weird, we can actually widen the split of the quick tackle, especially if he's lining up off of him. So now that guy has a long way to run to try to make tackles on buck sweep, and we can cut him. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to try to do. If that doesn't work, we're probably going to go to a couple of our read options on him. So the first read option we'll do is we will run what we call steal, okay? And probably this year we'll have to call it a different name because we've called it steal now on all the YouTube stuff so everybody knows. But it's our tag to let the guy know we're not going to block him. You're now going to block outside, okay? So our quick tackles technique on this, he'll release outside. If the outside linebacker triggers towards me, I'm going to engage and block him. The outside linebacker leaves, let's say he covers, because usually we'll pair this with a screen to try to occupy these guys. So let's just draw a fast screen up so you can see. So fast screen right here, and then this guy, if he flies out, then our quick tackle is going to hinge, get his eyes back inside. So he'll come here, eyes will come back inside to handle in case they're running some kind of switch. You know, defensive lineman chase, but inside linebacker sit on the quarterback. Now we can protect him. Most teams, if they're going to run a switch, they've got to dedicate these guys to handling the screen. Okay? If they're not going to run a switch, the way they usually will try to handle it, let's say they're letting them both play, then he is generally responsible for quarterback, and that's where that block will come into effect. And so we'll actually end up kicking the outside linebacker based on what they do. It's a steal call. It's a pretty simple deal on buck sweep. We're just reading this guy right here. Now, like I circled here, so sorry. We're just going to read that 3 technique. If he chases down the heel line, we're going to pull it. And then we'll let the quick tackles technique handle whatever shows up there. We're going to allow our quarterback to run the ball. And that's been a huge play for us against 3 front teams. We've started actually using it a lot against 4 front teams that are giving us that under front. It just gives a whole different look to what they're doing, and it changes responsibilities for guys that are maybe not as used to it. The other way we'll then talk about is the outside, so an exterior defensive lineman. So again, let's talk maybe about an under front or potentially, you know, whatever they want to do. So let's say they've got either a blitzing linebacker here, okay, and they got this guy here as well, or it could be an under front. It doesn't really matter. Let's say maybe they went man 0. We see that a little bit. Okay, so now I can't block both these guys. It's theoretically impossible. I can't block them both. So I can read this guy, or I can read that guy. So now if I want to read the exterior defensive lineman, We really don't have to call a lot very often, but generally we'll give a call to our quick tackle to tell him to block inside. Do not step hinge. Now in this scenario, he'd block there anyway, but let's just say we had a scenario like that, and we don't want to block him, we'll give him a tag for that. Okay, but so we get a look like this. He's going to block inside, maybe he's going to cut. Okay, we're going to get the same look, and we're now going to read him. And all we do is we give our quarterback, when he hears that tag that goes to the quick tackle, he understands where his eyes go. So if you've kind of been part of me this week, you've seen backside issues, play side issues. Backside issues, what we're trying to do is give our quarterback a very simple one person to look at deal. If the defender does this, then I do this. It's almost a paint by numbers system. I mean, it's very easy. Quarterback looks at one guy, he doesn't have to worry about it. They in cover 4, are they in a rob, or that. He doesn't know, he doesn't need to know. He needs to know what that guy is doing, because that's how we're tagging our play. So that's how we protect buck sweep. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've got a lot of information on buck sweep. I was hoping to make this something that would apply to any offense you may run, because I believe you can use these same philosophies on every run. We do, which is why we only run 3 plays strong and 3 plays quick, because by the time you get through this, as you can tell, it's kind of exhausting. And so we want to have built-in answers to our plays. This week was about buck sweep. We would do the same thing with any run play we're going to run. Play side, backside, how are we going to handle different issues. If you're interested in my system specifically, fbcoachsimpson.com or CoachTube, you can just look up the gun TRPO system or my name. I'll be dropping a different series each week, and so be looking for next week's different kind of theme. But this week was all about buck sweep. I appreciate you guys' time, and I hope to see you next week.